Hey everybody, Bob Finelli, biologist, kinesiologist, physiologist, fellow of applied functional science. Welcome back. And today we're going to go deeper and talk about stretching the IT band. I know that's a tough spot for a lot of people, and they spend a lot of time foam rolling, which is cool. But what we're going to do is teach you an active stretch that actually might be more effective for you than foam rolling. Okay, so remember, to stretch a muscle, we have to know where it attaches on the bones. That's clinically significant because a muscle stretches when you take those bony positions and you move them farther apart from each other, okay? If you bring them closer together, the muscle's gonna squish or be tight. Sometimes we want tight, sometimes we want long or length and flexible. So if we look at the IT band, it's really interesting. It actually, the glute here, your glute maximus, actually comes down and becomes the IT band. Isn't that interesting? See how it connects? And this then IT band comes all the way down, and it doesn't attach to your femur. It attaches down here to your tibia. So it bypasses the rest of your femur, which means the IT band says, if you want to lengthen me, you got to get this end of me and this end of me doing some different things. Also, interestingly, when you look at this picture, there's no disconnect. So you can see how my glute, my IT band, my TFL, they're all one piece. Okay, so to stretch them, we got to get that whole neighborhood to move. So how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to do it in 3 planes, of course, front to back, side to side, and twist. So if I want to stretch this muscle or connective tissue in the sagittal plane, I'm going to want to bring those points farther away from each other. So if I go here, they're now farther, it's going to lengthen. And actually, if I go back, they're now farther. Now, when I go back to stretch it, I have to have the ability to straighten out my knees so these bones become farther. If my knee stays together, not going to happen. So maybe for most of us, we're just going to come forward. Now, if I want to stretch it in the frontal plane and use my foot, I'm actually going to cross this foot over. So as soon as I do that, I just took those bones and drove them further apart and stretched the IT band. If I want to do it in the transverse plane, I can't bring those bones closer together. I have to bring them farther apart. So I'm going to take my foot and hook it around. That's going to get the glute and the IT band. Why? Because they're connected and they're all one piece. Okay? And since the TFL is here and the medius, that's what that stretch does. Now, what if I was going to use my hands? Well, I could keep my feet here and just create the same type of motion with my hands. So if I drive my hands back, I just lengthen that. If I drive them here to my left, I just lengthen the IT band. And if I rotate them around to my right, I just lengthen the IT band. And then you can combine the motions. So I could step forward and rotate around. I just lengthen the IT band. I could step sideways and lean even further, or I could cross here. That's a huge stretch. Or I could rotate around and bring my hands. All of those motions bring the bones farther apart from each other where the IT band attaches. And more importantly, we stretched it upright, we moved the tibia, we moved the pelvis, we moved the glute. All of the guys that say, hey, listen, if you want your IT band to be flexible, mobile, and adaptable, you need to lengthen it according to where it attaches and what its design is. And that's when we talk about, we want to think about sometimes trading the idea of flexibility for agility. Flexibility is great, but very often that's just still done in stillness. Agility is, I have my flexibility and I can use it in motion. Give it a try and let me know what you think.